In previous lesson, I have discussed the concept of data structures, and also I have discussed how data structure can be represented in two ways. So one is called logical or mathematical model, logical or mathematical model, and sometimes this is called abstract data type. And also I have discussed some bit of idea of implementation model. Now today I will introduce you the concept of this logical or mathematical model, or sometimes called abstract data type, and then after that we will introduce the implementation and model. So let's start with this logical or mathematical model of data structure, or sometimes called abstract data type. What is that, and why it is called abstract? What is the meaning of that? Suppose I give you a very good example, that is, what is the view of abstractions? Let's take an example of a TV. What happened into the TV? So we are watching TV, right? And we only know that some satellite channel is transmitting the signal, the TV is receiving, and accordingly we are watching the movie and all these things. But we do not bother what happened to the circuitry of the TV. That means you can get the abstract view of that. So that is basically the abstractions, or you can say abstract. The data structure can be viewed as in an abstract model, or you can say the logical or mathematical model. So I will come to a very interesting example of logical or mathematical model of a data structure by some example. So let's say a very interesting example of the real example of this one is called list. LIST, list. What is that? So very general word is called list. So means what? Is basically a collection of items. So we do frequently the listing all the items in your home, in your college, in your university. So also the another one is that list of words. We do this one in dictionary, list of words. So all this list, or sometimes it is a list of integer numbers, sometimes it may be a list of values. So all this comes under the list. So that means it's a very general, it's an abstract. It's actually we are not implementing the list. Okay. So now if I define the list as an abstract data type, what you can do is that the first one is that we can store values, or you can say words, whatever you can say. You can store values or words in the list. Then what you can do? You can read, because you have a read. That means what happens? So if you store some values, let's say list of words, list of values, list of integers, whatever, you can read also from that list, right? The third one is that you can modify or write the list. If you want, you can update the list. That is called modify or write. That means the list can be represented as we can store some values, we can read some values, or we can modify or write some values. Okay. So that means, but we are not implementing the list. It's a very general word. So it's given an abstract view of the data structure. It's basically an abstract view of the data structure, because, but if you are talking about the implementation, we are implementing different thing. So what is we implement? I give you one example, that is, if you have students, I think student must know some programming concept. So if you know the C and C++ programming language, the student must know the concept of array, right? Array means what? Is collection of similar type of elements, right? So when you are talking about the implementation in a language of a data structure, the list ADT can be implemented by using an array in the C or C++ language.